This is a different version of the new version of Pepper. I'm going to just show you some of the basic features that the new version has. So to begin, you log in with the login and password. We now have one single URL that everybody can log into. It used to be that everybody had, every course had its own login URL. Now everyone will log into the same URL. So you enter your login and password and click sign in. Once you sign in, you'll see a list of your communities. So I've got 3 communities that I have access to. Initially, you'll probably just have one, just your own course, but as time goes on and you create other courses, you'll have multiple communities. Now, these are 2 courses that are currently underway, so I'm going to use this 3rd community as an example, so there's no privacy issues. Now, before I click on that, you can see on the right, you can see the people who are currently online. And you can see you have a variety of tools at the top of the screen. These remain constant even when you're in your communities. You'll have access to these. So let's go into test community now. So here's my test community. Folders, and then I've got an admin button at the very bottom. If I want to create some more folders, I can click on admin and click add conference, and then I can add some more. So week 6, week 7. You can close. Now if I want to rearrange these folders, for example, if I want to move my resources folder down to the bottom, I can click here and say edit conferences, and then I can click on this little down arrow to move resources to the very bottom. You'll notice that some of these folders are faded out. This is a way for teachers to hide information from students temporarily. I'll show you how to do that with week 6 and 7. Go into edit conferences. Then in week 6 you say access. Conference is hidden from students but visible to instructors in grayscale. Do the same for week 7. And so what this means is when students log in, they just see these 3 folders: announcements, week 1, and resources. And these ones are hidden from them. When you're ready to reveal them to students, you can go in and change the access folder to visible to everyone. Like that. And now students will be able to see week 2 as well. Let's take a look inside these folders. If you go into announcements, you can see I've got 3 notes here. One way to read these notes is to click on them, like so, and read them one at a time. Another way is you can use these little navigation arrows up here, and it'll take you from note to note. If you want to add another note to this folder, click on New Note. The New Note window will appear. You can drag that anywhere you like. You can expand it to give yourself more writing space. You can write whatever you like. This is a test note. You can also insert images. The new version allows you to insert images fairly easily. I can click on this little camera icon, and then I can drag images right off my desktop into the note. And there it is. And then when you're ready to post the note, you can click on Post. If you want to post it privately, so only you can see it, you can click on Private here. But let's post it publicly. So there's my new note. Let's write a reply to this note. To reply to this note, you can click on Reply. And this time, let's put a movie in the note. So here is a movie. Put your cursor where you want the movie to be, and then you can click on YouTube. Now the next thing to do is to find the URL for your YouTube movie. And here's one, a TED movie. So I'm going to copy the URL from the top of the screen. Then I'm going to go back to my note and I'll paste the URL right here and say OK. And that's it. And here's my note. And you can see, because I've replied, it's indented here. Okay, some other quick features. We've got the ability to like notes. You can see when you like a note, a little thumbs up icon appears over here. You can favorite notes. So for example, suppose I like this note and I want to favorite it so I can come back another day. I can click on favorite. This note has been added to your favorites list. And so now you can see in my favorites list, I've got test note. That's the title of this note right here. And so if I'm looking at another note, perhaps even on the home screen, anywhere in Pepper, and I want to return to that note, I can go to favorites and say, show me that note again, and it pops it up here for me to view. And I can resize it and take a look at it. Another kind of cool thing you can do is, if you're in a conference and you create a new note, and let's say I want to attach a file. So I'm going to just drag this attachment in with a PDF of a newsletter. Please read the attached file. Now suppose I want to take a look at something that was in another conference. I don't have to post this. I can just leave this open if I want. I can go back to home, and I can go back into announcement, and I can find the note that I want. Let's just move this down here so you can read it. That's the note I want. And I wanted to know let's suppose I wanted to know their names. And I can go and make reference to it. This relates to the Scardamelia Embroider. And please read this note. And I can highlight this note, and now I can link to this note by looking at this number 3, and clicking on the link icon and just entering 3. And now this note will link us to this note, and then I can post. So there we are. So here's please read the attached file. This relates to the Scardamelia Embroider paper. Please read this note. Here's my newsletter that I uploaded. If I click on this note, it brings up the Scardamelia Embroider note. Some other cool features. If I'm reading through and I see something interesting and I just want to keep it visible on the screen for a little while, maybe it's this note here, I can select pop. And pop will pop open this note, and I can just minimize it. Click on the little minimize button, and I can just leave it there, and I can go to other places in Pepper, wherever I want. And whenever I want to view it again, I can bring it up and look at it. So pop's fairly useful. Let's take a look. We also have a readers button, and this will show you who's read the note. So to bring that up, I'm the only one in this conference, so I'm the only one that has access to that. And finally, you can also see who is online at any time by looking at people online. Now this just shows you the people online in this particular community. It doesn't show you all the people who are on Pepper, just people in your course. Just click on it, and it shows you who's available. Okay, and then there's a few other little things that you can do. If you want to create a subfolder within announcements, you can just click on new subfolder and enter it in. Date announcements or something. Create it. Now you have a folder within a folder. And then there's a people menu here. The People menu lets you see who's in the community. Again, it's just me right now. And there's a little report to show you how many notes people have written, how many replies they've made, how many words they've written, and how many notes they've read. Only the instructor can see the impact report. Students can't view this. And then there's a search. If you want to search for something, suppose I want to search for the word scardamelia, press return, shows me all the notes that have the word scardamelia in it, this one and this one. And if I want to save this particular note, I can pop it up and just make it minimize it. And then when I click on back, I go back to the place I was at when I started the search. Okay, so those are some of the features. There's some others, but you can explore and discover those for yourself. You can go back to my communities to see your communities when you're finished, and log out. Okay, thanks.